let's just jump right into this explainer, okay? Because here's the modern reality. You simply can't hide behind your work anymore. You are the face of your brand. Think about the brands you actually trust today. You're probably not picturing some faceless corporate logo, right? You're picturing a real human being. We're living through this massive cultural shift, driven completely by the creator economy, and people are just craving authenticity. The marketplace doesn't just want your product or service anymore. They want a genuine connection with the person behind it all. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you're a local stylist, a corporate consultant, or a startup CEO. Getting on camera isn't just an influencer trend anymore. It is literally a non-negotiable part of doing business today. But we all know that feeling, don't we? The exact second that little red recording light kicks on, this wave of universal dread just sets in. Why is it that brilliant professionals, people who negotiate massive deals or run entire boardrooms in their sleep, suddenly freeze up, sweat, and completely forget how to speak the moment a lens points at them? Well, psychologically, it all comes down to the spotlight effect. Our brains suddenly trick us into thinking the entire world is scrutinizing our every single flaw, which triggers a literal fight or flight response. It's wild. It stumps so many of us. But today, we're digging into the source material to figure out exactly why that mental block happens, and more importantly, how to systematically tear it down. So here is our agenda for today's Inside Out method. We're going to cover 4 key areas. First, the fear of the camera. Second, mindset and inner alignment. Third, building confidence through action. And finally, embracing authentic imperfections. Let's get right into it. Starting with part 1, the fear of the camera, or unmasking the anxiety. To unpack these paralyzing anxieties, we're drawing on over 3 decades of insight from beauty industry veteran and professional coach Jackie Capatolla. Now, looking at these common camera fears, the most crucial thing to understand right out of the gate is that these are completely normal human reactions. Seriously, we worry our hair is doing something weird, or that stumbling over one single word is going to make us sound completely unprofessional. And then, the absolute worst. Imposter syndrome creeps in. It's that annoying little voice asking, who would even want to listen to me anyway? But here's the secret. Almost every single person who steps in front of a lens is secretly fighting this exact same battle. Once you realize that freezing up isn't some permanent roadblock, it's just a totally normal hurdle, it literally takes the power away from the fear. You are absolutely not alone in this. Which brings us to part 2, mindset and inner alignment. This is all about the inside-out approach because, true confidence isn't about your physical appearance. It fundamentally starts deep within your mind. You could buy the fanciest ring light, drop thousands on a cinematic camera, and read off the perfect script. But if your mind isn't right, the audience is going to subconsciously feel that hesitation. Jackie Capatolla's core philosophy revolves around this concept of alignment. And what that means is the exact moment when your inner beliefs, your self-respect, and your energetic flow perfectly match your outer physical representation and your brand. Have you ever watched a video of someone who looks, totally flawless, but something just feels off? You can't put your finger on it, but you don't fully trust them. That right there is a lack of alignment. You have to truly believe in your own skills and know your purpose before you hit record. When your inner confidence naturally matches your outer presentation, that's when the real magic happens. And this brings us to a huge energy-draining trap that professionals fall into all the time. Think about that one creator you follow who sounds like a stiff corporate robot online, but then you meet them in person and they are hilarious and totally laid back. You kind of feel betrayed, right? Like you were sold a fake persona. If you try to fake this highly polished, totally different persona on camera, your audience will immediately sense the disconnect. An authentic brand means letting your actual personality breathe. It means staying true to your core values, your mission, and your personal style, whether the camera is rolling or not. So how do we actually calm our minds down enough to be that authentic? Because let's face it, staring into the dark void of a camera lens is just inherently terrifying. The huge aha moment here is to stop speaking to the void. Stop speaking to those thousands of invisible judges in your head. Instead, picture your absolute dream client. Let's call her Sarah. Visualize Sarah, the exact person who desperately needs your expertise to solve a problem today, and just speak directly to her. Have a casual one-on-one conversation to help her out. When you do that, your body language naturally relaxes, your tone shifts to conversational, and your true, authentic self just naturally shines through. All right, moving on to part 3, building confidence through action, or as we like to call it, the momentum loop. Now that our internal mindset is aligned, we have to convert that energy into physical action. Because honestly, all the mindset journaling in the world won't do a thing if you never actually press the record button. As Jackie says, confidence comes from consistency. Think of yourself like an athlete stepping onto the field for the very first time. You cannot realistically expect perfection on day 1. No way! You're gonna stutter. You'll have awkward pauses. You might completely forget your point halfway through a sentence. And guess what? That is exactly what's supposed to happen. Showing up repeatedly and doing those messy reps is what actually builds the skill. Confidence doesn't just magically appear out of thin air. It is the direct byproduct of unglamorous, day-to-day consistency. And here is the absolute secret to that cycle. Action generates momentum, and momentum actively produces confidence. We almost always get this backward in our heads. We sit on the couch waiting to magically feel confident before we film. But confidence doesn't come first. You literally have to take the terrifying action first. That initial action creates a tiny spark of momentum. You feel proud that you finally ripped the Band-Aid off. And that specific feeling of pride, that's the fuel that builds the confidence to try it again tomorrow. It is a continuous, self-feeding loop. So how do you actually kickstart that cycle without having a total panic attack? Well, you lower the stakes. This beginner action plan removes the massive pressure of feeling like you need to shoot a cinematic masterpiece. Just start incredibly simple. Step 1, take a selfie and post it with a quick bio explaining what you do. Boom, done. Once your nervous system calms down from that, step 2 is turning the camera on for just 20 seconds. Why 20 seconds? Because anyone can survive 20 seconds. Let the lighting be bad, let it be messy. Just execute the action, feel that momentum, and repeat. Now, if you need a really practical, tactical anchor to keep you steady, the whiteboard method is an absolute game changer. One of our biggest fears is freezing and forgetting what to say, right? But looking down at your notes constantly breaks that magical eye contact, which is the ultimate trust builder. So try placing a large physical whiteboard immediately behind your camera lens with just 3 big bullet points. It keeps you completely on track. To you, it's a safety net, but to your audience, it looks like you're maintaining perfect, confident eye contact the entire time. It's brilliant. And that brings us to our final section, part 4, embracing authentic imperfections, or what to do when things go wrong. Because eventually, despite all your preparation, absolute chaos is going to strike while you're recording. It's inevitable, and how you handle those mishaps is what truly defines how relatable you are. Instead of treating a mishap as some catastrophic failure that you have to edit out, reframe it as a powerful connection point. Say you're mid-sentence and your dog just starts barking like crazy. Don't panic and delete the footage. Bring the dog on camera. Show your real life. Or what if there's bad audio from a massive thunderstorm? Calmly explain it. It proves to your audience that you're so dedicated to them that you'll push through the storm to show up. Messy hair day? It normalizes you as a real human, not some untouchable guru. Remember, perfect is boring. Real life is what's deeply engaging. Now, when you start putting your real self out there, you are going to get some external feedback or criticism. It's going to happen. And yeah, it stings when someone says your lighting was dark or you talked too fast. But here's the differentiator. Do not use it as an excuse to quit. We have to separate useless internet trolling from valuable alignment data. If the feedback is actually constructive, take a breath and ask yourself, am I showing up in a way that respects my mission and serves my audience? Use that specific data to tweak your setup, refine your representation, and just boldly keep moving forward. Jackie points out this incredibly powerful statistic that you really need to keep in mind. Only the top 1% of people in any given industry are actually willing to do the deeply uncomfortable work of consistently putting themselves out there on camera. Just let that sink in for a second. Only 1%. The reason this feels so hard is because it is hard, but that discomfort is exactly why 99% of your competition is going to eventually quit. If you're willing to push through the messy action, laugh off the barking dogs, and just endure those awkward early videos, you automatically separate yourself into that top tier. So, are you willing to be in that 1%? I want to leave you with this final thought to really spark your sense of duty today. If you let the fear of the camera win, you are actively depriving the world of your unique gifts. There are people out there right now, people exactly like your dream client, Sarah, who desperately need your specific knowledge, your energy, and your unique way of solving problems. If you hide behind the fear of being imperfect, they literally don't get the help they need. So, the real question is, are you ready to step up, turn on that red recording light, and be the authentic guide they're searching for?